Well, this is one of the saddest and most momentous turning points in the history of the United Kingdom. There's nobody in this country or the world who hasn't lived the majority of their lives under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. For 70 years, she served this country with astoundingly dedicated duty. I struggle to even imagine a Britain without this Queen. But with great sadness, we now have to imagine it because the moment we've all been dreading has finally come. And tonight, everything changes. Her death is an enormous blow, not just to the British people, but to our national psyche. To people around the world who don't fully understand our deep affinity with this Queen, it's as simple as this. Our monarchy and Her Majesty are the very essence of being British. As Abraham Lincoln, apple pie and the Constitution are to being American, so the royal family is to Great Britain. More than an institution, it's an identity, it's who we are. It's the Magna Carta, the Palace of Westminster, the Battle of Waterloo. It's Austen, Dickens, Shakespeare, the Beatles. It's crushing the Nazis. It's Churchill and the Blitz spirit. It's Royal Ascot and the Chelsea Flower Show, cricket at Lord's, Wimbledon tennis, football at Wembley. Nothing and nobody has symbolised what it means to be British better than Queen Elizabeth. She's always been there. She had an aura of invincibility that sadly today has been shattered. And now we have to learn as a country to live without her. Whatever your views of the royal family, wherever you live in the world, you will remember this day because it's history unfolding before our eyes. This remarkable little lady was not just our longest serving monarch, she was the second longest reigning monarch in all of history. She appointed 15 British prime ministers. She hosted 13 of the last 14 American presidents. She was our queen for 30% of America's entire history. Think about that. She held more than 100 state visits for the world's leaders. She was the head of state herself in 17 countries. She was the head of the Commonwealth of Nations. And she guided us all through the best of times and the worst of times, through wars, terrorism, pandemics, natural disasters, financial crises. Whatever it was, she was there with dignity, duty, stoicism, and that famous stiff upper lip. Her last act this week was to appoint our new Prime Minister. Remarkably, staggeringly, she was dutiful until the very, very end. I'm so very glad and so very grateful that we all have had the chance to say thank you at her Platinum Jubilee celebrations this summer. And she was able to see just how much she meant to us. Elizabeth II demonstrated the very best of our British values in her leadership. She represented those values to the world. She was our greatest export, our greatest leader, the greatest of Britons. When Her Majesty the Queen died this afternoon in Balmoral, a little piece of all of us here in Britain died with her.